episodes today. Woo! Hey, thanks so much for being part of the journey. Can't believe it. It actually has come around really quickly. 100 days, 100 episodes. Now, what I did was I did a mock interview. I got an AI voice to ask me them. So this is a quick 100-episode interview. I'm the guest on this one, and my host doesn't exist. Let's jump in.
What made you hit record that very first time?
Well, I actually did an episode on this. It was the very first one I recorded, even before the year started, where I was on a beach just talking about it. The reason I wanted to do this daily podcast is because it sounded a little bit nuts, to be honest. I really enjoy the podcasting medium. I love speaking and actually think through speaking. And I also like the idea of being consistent in my content and daily messaging and things like that. So yeah, the reason I hit record for the first time and decided to take on this project for the year is because it was hard, because I didn't think I could do it. And I wanted to really test myself.
What would surprise the day one version of you the most?
I think what's surprising is how I thought this was going to be such a hard project. And I guess it is, but because I'm 100 episodes in, I'm used to the pressure. So the pressure isn't really that much. I would imagine the first couple of weeks, I was like, oh, I've got to do that podcast, but now it just rolls around and I just trust myself that I will. Where I actually still am, I guess, is just not having, backup episodes in the can for when unexpected things happen in life. But I think what I'm surprised the most is how this format has actually been quite easy, or I've maybe built into the format. People hear podcasts, I think it's like 30-minute episodes and interviews. I would not have been able to do a daily podcast like that, but because it's just me with my thoughts, it's actually been okay. And I realized that the more that I share ideas, the more I see them. So it's made me a better observer of ideas and collector of ideas. And then the fact that I can just quickly share them has been probably the best surprise.
Nice. Surprises are good. When are your best ideas born?
Where are my best ideas born? Well, there's an initial question in there. What is the best idea? Is it the practicality of it? Is it the relevance of it for you? Is it something that I just particularly like because it might be a bit fun or smart? I would just answer this in terms of generally, where are the ideas born? It's not like I sit down and write about this podcast ever. It's more about, like I said, just observing things. So like this episode I did yesterday around the reverse park, that just came out because it happened in life. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wish I'd given myself gift of just taking 20 seconds to reverse my car into that car park. Hey, by the way, on a funny note, I got a massage. Again, this is all part of my Achilles recovery. And my massage guy, Carlos, who is exceptional, he's like, hey, I got a car park from you yesterday. So he was at that cafe and he grabbed the park. Good to know. He left a lot of space for me to reverse out. But then that generated a conversation around my number plates on my car, which is Bangkok.
Your number plate is Bangkok?
Which I might talk about on a future episode. But yeah, small world on that. So the best ideas are born just from living every day and noticing things a bit more.
What's your recording setup now versus at the start?
My recording setup is very similar to how it started. So even today's episode is being recorded just at my computer before I wait to jump on a meeting. And particularly because I'm doing this one with like an AI voice. But what I love about the podcast as well is that it's just my phone. I just take it out. I have all the technical gear in terms of I've got a Zoom H5n recorder, which actually has inputs for microphones and things like that. But with technology now, what you might have noticed is I did an episode with Kate Massey at the shopping centre. I did an episode with Liz Heathwood when we're out and about. And there's all these sounds in the background that were going on, but you don't hear that because of how tech is able now to just wipe the background noise from things. From time to time, I'll leave it in because I actually like maybe the sound of my footsteps on a trail, or the sound of a bird makes it like it puts you in the moment. But overall, yeah, I don't really overthink it. The background noise doesn't really matter if you hold the phone close to your mouth when you speak. It's pretty good.
Do you ever listen back to your own episodes?
Sometimes I do listen back to my own episodes, but maybe it's probably more the conversational ones, like the chat I had with Julian Mather. It's more the conversational ones I listen back to. If it's my own solo episode, not so much, unless I've said maybe I've been on a rant and maybe I'm trying to judge myself on whether I went too far or not. Yeah, that's about it.
What's the number one thing this podcast has taught you about consistency?
In terms of consistency, I guess what it's taught me is that yeah, there's going to be an uphill, like you're always going to have some friction when you start, but then you start to figure out how to make this align with how you work best. And that's how I've been doing it. What I didn't want this podcast to be was to be a burden on anyone else. So I kind of refused to say to Chris, oh, I can't do something because I've got a podcast tomorrow. Like I've got to be accountable and just do the thing and just not let it be a burden on other people. We're going to look ahead for weekends, or if we're going away, look ahead to that and just plan and do episodes in advance. That is actually a real key one. And I think often when we have a consistent habit, whether it's running or doing anything else, we get so kind of self-obsessed and self-absorbed. We forget about other people. And so I just wanted to be like, this is my challenge. Let's keep it at my challenge. Of course, I got support, and I'll share it with people, but I won't hijack the conversation around this daily thing that I do.
How are you thinking about measuring success for the next 100?
In terms of measuring success for the next 100, it's just about getting them done, honestly. I've got to accept that there's times where some episodes just won't hit. But I guess the most fascinating thing about that, again, is episodes that I think are just kind of average, they do hit. And the ones that I think are really good don't get much of a response. You are not your own market. So it's been a really good reminder of that. So success for me is continuing to test ideas, being comfortable with bringing things in. Again, just trying to improve my ability to tell stories, which again, I slack off on. I would also like to bring in some kind of fun pillar episodes, like a comprehensive, like, hey, 5 things on this, my top 5 reads, kind of more listicles. But I guess success as well has been, because I get to speak my ideas, I get to then grab transcripts and repurpose them into things like my Substack community, which is called WorkFame, on LinkedIn. It's a lot easier than just to grasp at loose ends. I see my content flywheel beginning with this audio, then it can turn into other things if I feel like there's something in this that's worth exploring a bit more.
Who or what helped make this happen, even if they don't know it?
I guess if you're listening to this, you have helped make it happen, but every single qualitative bit of, messages, reach outs, tags, likes, I know there's subtle signals that maybe some of this is enjoyable. So I don't want to really call anyone out. If you've sent me a message, I've hopefully called you out in one of the episodes. But overall, it's just a feeling of, thank you for listening and for being part of this project as well. And I always love getting questions, because that helps me then think about what is going to resonate with you and really land a topic. But I guess if you've just been part of my world in any way, like, I'm sure there's been an impact, and I've thought about something that you've said that's then inspired an episode on this show. So that's it, 100 episodes. That took 100 days, whereas my first time facilitator podcast, it took 100 weeks. There is something around frequency, right, to build up a skill, consistency, habit, all these things that we all know about. This is not new, but seeing them all come together has been really fun. And I'm looking forward to the next 100. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this project. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for the chat, Leanne. And if you enjoy her podcast, share this show or your favorite episode with others. High fives, Husey.